Hey everybody, I am back for screencast number 2 about Cami. I just wanted to do a very quick follow-up to show you that this stuff does work on Hebrew worksheets as well. I did a math worksheet in the last one, and I'm not going to go through the basics of Cami in this screencast because I'm assuming you already watched my first one. But if you want to watch and follow along how this goes, it'd be great. So another wonderful teacher at my school sent me a Hebrew PDF. I'm going to go ahead and I can do a few things here. I can download it, I can add it to Google Drive, or I can just click on it and it brings me to the preview thing, and then I can select Open With, Annotate with Cami. So we did the same thing in the first screencast as well. And this is also assuming that you've added Cami already, as I showed you in the instructions of the first screencast. So it's just calling up the PDF like I would normally have it to look at. But I just want to show you how all the same things are still possible. So let's start with some easy text. Well, my name is Akiva. So I just put my name in on the PDF. And I would like to answer this question. Mom, Bnei Yisrael Moshe. I don't have these psukim in front of me. I'm just going to answer in Hebrew, though. So I'm going to change to Hebrew on my keyboard. You can figure out how you want to do that on yours. I pressed Alt-Shift on my PC. If you're on a Chromebook and you have Hebrew installed on there, I believe it's Control-Space to switch to the other language. I could be wrong, but let's assume you know how to switch languages. So I'm going to say, Haim, Amru, Lo Tov. I'm not going for grammar knowledge here. Now you'll see that there are a few limitations here. When you're typing in Hebrew, the periods are going to be on weird sides. There's just going to have to be a little bit of understanding here that sometimes these things might not work out so well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the alignment to right and hope that that does something. But I don't think it did anything. It's just the way that it goes. Not everything is going to work so perfectly. But you can see that making a text box allows you to type in any language. You could also draw your answer and say, Haim, Amru, Lo Tov. I know this isn't real Hebrew, and I honestly just don't know what these psukim are talking about. But if you have a touch screen, this gets a lot easier. I'm drawing with my mouse because I'm recording this on my screen setup and not actually on a connected screen and not actually on my real screen, but it would look a lot nicer if I were able to draw on it with my Surface Pen. But as you can see, anything that you would pretty much need to be able to do on a PDF, you could do here. So let's say, for instance, that this assignment was asking you to select certain words. Well, you could do things like select a shape and say like, oh, Vayilonu is one of them, Vayomru is the other, Ada is another. I accidentally drew another one there, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to erase it and see what happens. It worked! Okay, so again, I'm doing this for the first time, but you can see this is a pretty intuitive thing. Now, let's say you need to highlight portions of psukim. I'm not saying that that's actually what you have to do here, but let's say that you did need to highlight. So you do have the option over, I believe, Markup, and you could sort of say, oh, this is the important part of this, and this is another thing I was asked to highlight. You could try to get it as close as possible. With Hebrew, it gets a little harder. I'm going to undo that with Control Z. Hebrew gets a little harder, but maybe instead of highlighting, you could just draw a line, right? So, oh, here's the important part. That might work better for Hebrew things. Don't ask to highlight. Don't ask your students to highlight. Ask them to underline would be what I would recommend while we're doing distance learning. But as you can see, all the functionality of the other worksheet that I showed in math exists here, and it really does translate over pretty well, even though it's in Hebrew. Now let's say you need to add a signature. There is a signature function where you can upload an image or draw a signature, or if you were doing this from your phone, draw it on your phone. I'm just going to go ahead and try to do my signature, but I'm not going to give you what my real signature is because I know you're just going to screenshot it and then sign, take out all my money from the bank. Internet safety, people. And then you would just upload that, and then you would insert it, and then it lets you choose where to insert it. So if that's your parent signing off on the assignment, that's how you would do that. So really, there's just so many different cool things you could do on these PDFs, and you can see that most of the functionality that you need is there even in Hebrew. Obviously, the highlighting doesn't work as well because the optical character recognition doesn't work so well with Hebrew, as well as writing in Hebrew gives you the periods on the wrong side. But overall, it gives you a good idea of how this might work. Thanks for listening. Again, you want to save it. You want to click Save Now, and then you can move it anywhere in your drive that you want. And you can also go ahead and if you clicked on Advanced Export, you could do it with annotations. And you could put it into your Google Drive over here, and then decide to begin your export. And then when it saves it to Google Drive, you can then choose. It'll open the Google Drive for you. As you can see, here is where it not only saved a copy that I edited, but then I also exported. So either one of these, when you open it up, is going to have all the annotations that were on it. See? It just appeared there. All the stuff that I just did is right there, and then I can share it as I normally do and do what I need to do. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful night.